I'm Lisa, and I'm going to be talking about how Japanese education affects identities of Japanese individuals. Have you ever wondered, is the style of education I'm learning right now affecting my future self? As an individual who has experienced both Japanese and international school-style education, I wonder what kind of human being I would have been if I stayed to a Japanese school for my whole life, or what if I only experienced international school education? This is what I learned from being at an international school. We are more willing to and much better at talking about our opinions and thoughts. And most importantly, we're confident in ourselves. But why is that? Japan lacks the three I's. The three I's, you might think. Yes, I like to call it the three I's. Independence, instruction of English education, internationality. Let's take a look at them. Independence. Traditional education in Japan tends to prioritize rote memorization rather than encouraging critical thinking and individual expression. Students are taught to view concepts in right or wrong, good or bad, leaving little room for exploration. This discourages students from forming their own opinions or questioning established norms. In contrast, methods such as Socratic seminars encourage open discussion and the exchange of diverse perspectives. Without these sessions, where students can freely talk about their opinions, they learn to believe that being different is wrong. Japanese classrooms are also shaped in a way all students face directly to the teacher rather than their classmates, which makes it even more challenging for the exchange of ideas. As a result, Japanese students struggle to express their opinions confidently, leading to decreased self-efficacy. Here's a translated graph based on a survey conducted among high school students from different countries assessing their self-perception. We can see here, Japan exhibits the lowest percentage amongst all countries here, lagging behind the US by more than 20%. The involvement of people voting in Japan is declining, now resting at 52%. Half of the population abstains from voting. In stark contrast, Denmark has maintained over 80% turnout since 1945, and attributed to a close connection between politics and youth through their education systems. Their democracy festivals exemplify this relationship, where government officials visit schools and engage in open discussions with students, building the culture of political involvement from a young age. And the key here is the governments actually listen to what these young voices have to say, valuing their ideas, and they actually drive political change based on their ideas. Conversely, in Japan, there is this widespread skepticism about the individual impact of voting, resulting in a lack of engagement. And this all comes back to how students are being told what to do at school rather than encouraged to develop as independent individuals, leading to the toxic belief that taking action will yield no change in situations. In the journey of life, we need to navigate paths and accomplish things independently by ourselves. Understanding your capabilities is essential, and students need to learn from a young age to be confident in themselves, to willingly confront challenges. The second I is instruction of English education. Did you know that Japan is 87th place in English education globally? The reason here is a lack of output in their learning processes. You know, motivation plays a crucial role when it comes to learning a new language, whether it's the dream of chatting with Messi in Spanish, or simply wanting to enjoy K-dramas without subtitles. Having a strong reason drives language acquisition forward. Learning a language through reading and writing alone isn't enjoyable. The fun comes when we actually speak the language, doesn't it? Well, English education in Japan focuses on reading and writing, and therefore tends to overshadow this aspect of fun. Many students end up studying English just to pass exams, which puts this massive pressure on achieving perfection in punctuation and grammar. After all, language is just a communication tool. But this strict emphasis on perfection can have negative consequences, resulting in a lack of confidence when it comes to using English in real-life situations. Consequently, Japan's lack of confidence in English communication ultimately holds back the country's ability to develop international talent. That leads us up to our third I, internationality. Here's the thing in Japan. This comes with learning English too. Many individuals don't feel that push and urgency to interact globally because of its self-sufficiency. Through domestic demand, especially being an island country. This leads to lacking diverse viewpoints, limiting growth and innovation. Because of this, you often find people with similar ideas gathering together, which doesn't really help with growth and coming up with innovations. Here's a map showing top 10 countries where international students come from. From a glance, it seems like Japan's doing quite a good job, right? But here's the thing. Japan's one of the countries with the highest populations here. For example, Korea has 3 times more international students than Japan, even though Korea's population is less than a half. So when you do the math, that's about 6 times the difference.
What are you doing? No, it's changing on its own.
Korea and many of these other countries put a lot of emphasis on English education right from kindergarten, with the aim of encouraging students to study abroad in the future. Studying abroad really helps develop independence from learning to do things alone. It encourages new ideas and opportunities, helping to discover what you're passionate about, and gives you the confidence to go after your dreams. Unfortunately, in Japan, even though it's growing little by little, government support like scholarship programs is still pretty limited. Think about gender equality. While so many nations are opening up with female presidents, the female distribution in Japanese parliament is 9.9%. 9.9%. In the ranking of gender gap by country, we are down at 125th. Global interaction can really change perspectives and open up doors to learn from different countries, making the world a more sustainable place, better for everyone. Now, transitioning into a different viewpoint, what are some things that other countries can learn from Japanese education? Japanese school lunches are said to be one of the healthiest school lunches in the world, with professional nutritionists making the recipes. Having access to nutritious food takes an important role for students to focus on studies. That's why it's so crucial to appreciate and value the food we have. Just like how all Japanese students are taught with the tradition to say, "Itadakimasu" before every meal. But students from grade 1 prepare meals by themselves, they have lunch duties. And this teaches them to take ownership of their shared meals, encouraging them to finish all their food, reducing food waste, which positively contributes to the SDGs. Adding on to lunches, cleaning duties, commonly called osoji, is a regular daily activity in the life of a Japanese student. Every student chips in as a team to tackle different cleaning tasks, which encourage a valuable habit of taking responsibility for their own spaces. Think of Japanese streets. Look how remarkably clean they are compared to other places in the world. Also, take the 2022 World Cup. The New York Times introduced Japan as Cheer, Chat, Clean, highlighting dedication to cleanness and responsibility. To Japanese individuals, these are just habits, just ordinary things we do in our daily lives. However, the fact that the majority of other countries don't have the culture of osoji highlights how impressive Japan's doing with cleaning being introduced from a young age. We can definitely say that lunches and osoji is something other nations can learn from Japanese education. I've been working with a student-led organization based in Kansai called From Us. From Us was established with the goal of aiming to raise awareness into comprehending global issues and making a change in our own communities. We dive into discussion about all sorts of global topics such as SDGs and AI. Through these conversations, we explore steps that we can take as high school students to change the world from us. Please take a look at our Instagram page for more information. As we conclude our journey today, let's take a moment to underscore the importance of the 3 I's: independence, instruction of English education, internationality. By embracing new approaches and having an open-minded view, we can pave the way for a brighter future in education. Thank you very much for joining me with my journey.